In our approach to society, with sustainocracy, we see humankind as much more than a replaceable resource in a finance-driven organization. We learn to value our human selves as a miracle of life, as something very important, worth developing, cherishing and taking care of. In order to do this, we need to learn how to understand our evolutionary selves, not just about our relationship with money or the politically and financially dominated systems of interests. In face of the Anthropocene, with its terrible consequences and perspectives, we wish to get grips on the essentials of our existence, our naturally shared responsibilities, and how we develop ourselves as a learning entity. We understood that we had to learn about our relationship with our natural living environment by seeing it as an integral part of ourselves, not just as a consumable resource. We further extended our desires to learn to live our lives in a peaceful and sustainably constructive way, avoiding the selfish destructiveness of the past. We take a distance from this human world of competitive performance, societal inequalities, disconnected from each other and our true collaborative nature. Having broken through into such awareness, we also started to wish to extend this to our children, our upcoming generations, through new levels of education. A new contextual learning format was born, one that engaged ourselves and our children into human, eco-centered, real values-driven development. A learning environment that covers all the necessary development stages of the human being, from infancy to teenager, from puberty to different levels of maturity. As a basis, we use the 5 essential natural values that we have defined for our optimal and sustainable development. These values are very well known in traditional family life. However, we have gradually lost them when financial priorities started to prevail. It is important that our children become engaged again with these existential values as early as possible in their lives. This will not only determine their own authentic development and personalities but also the way our communities and societies evolve. Each of us is the potential bearer of the evolutionary path that humankind follows. That is why it is important to provide each member of our community with an open space and values-driven guidance for the deployment of his and her full potential and beyond. This potential will manifest itself during one's lifetime and the circumstances that present themselves. The early stages of every life are determined within the cultural heritage of society as it stands. In our current era, this goes beyond our domestication in a financially driven world. We are painfully becoming aware of our need to integrate again with our natural environment. We let go of fear and develop confidence in ourselves, trusting our accumulated knowledge, applied technologies and mature collective wisdom, to fulfill and share our basic needs. We gradually learn to balance our wit, our emotional wellness, our meaningfulness and purpose, our physical integrity with the awareness breakthroughs that we are experiencing. Such an energetic world and complexity is one that integrates us also with our surroundings, in a dynamic and yet harmonizing and symbiotic way. The growing up phases include playfulness, our curiosity for our surroundings, our juvenile competitiveness, the appearance of our teen spirit and ultimately our mature sense of responsibility. Our learning enhances our understanding of integral health, safety, empathy, compassion, the evolution of ethics up to the existential basis of our existence. We learn how to relate with others in a constructive, non-competitive, co-creative manner, sharing objectives and celebrating results. We learn about our own strengths, possible weaknesses, talents, abilities and those of others that can complement ours. We also get to value and respect ourselves, equally value and respect others, while building relationships based on equality and trust. At a certain point, our young generations will level up with the evolutionary status of humankind as it stands today. For a long time people would stay at this level, with only modest contributions. But not anymore. Suddenly we have started to add significant new steps to humankind in many different ways. For instance, through scientific contributions, just like Newton or Einstein did at one point in time. Or by inventing and introducing impactful innovations, like what happened once with our mobility or the introduction of the internet. Even with the appearance of new societal contexts, like what happened historically when we started to use fire. Or with the appearance of financial instruments when we industrialized and individualized the world while we moved to populate cities. In our case, we introduced and started experimenting with our understandings of existential ethics, such as in sustainocracy. Every time such important contextual changes happened in the past, also our learning dynamics adjusted and evolved. That justifies our current innovative approach to learning as soon as we started to appreciate the human being and our natural existential values. At the STIR Learning Cooperation, we understand that evolution adds new layers to our existence. The previous layers remain there, as part of our heritage. They simply and gradually get covered with a new overarching mindset that puts everything into a new behavioral and operational context and perspective. Gradually, we let go of the old and embrace the new levels of understanding of what we are in the current era. This level then start to determine our decisions, our behavior, and the way we deal with everything. This equally implies that we gradually add new frameworks to our educational learning formats. At STIR, we don't compete with the old educational system, which has developed great intellectual value over time. We just add the modern contextual elements to it as a new overarching mindset with challenging learning dynamics in which we both develop our youth, our institutions and societies. That is what our STIR learning community is all about, offering itself as an inspiring partner to the existing educational institutions and environments. We work directly with the institutions, establishing a global network of exchanges, joint applications for grants, development of relevant minors, innovative activities, cooperation with business and government. Feel free to contact me if you wish to join us or to look into this for your own country, institution or personal environment.